Hello, Panos Kakaviatos here with more wine to share, at least vicariously. February is a cold month, Groundhog Day, but also Valentine's Day. So for romantic evenings, what's a better wine than champagne, and in particular rosé champagne? I enjoyed this Champagne Henriot for 26 euros, non-vintage. The bubbles are fine enough. It has a smooth texture. It was very pleasing, had lovely fruit. What more do you want for that amount of money? I loved it, and I recommend it. Then to something more serious, a second growth, but not just any second growth, a super second from Bordeaux's Medoc region, Saint-Estèphe to be specific, Chateau Cos d'Estournel, 2001. 2001 is slightly underrated. It came after the banner 2000 vintage, but at Cos d'Estournel, the Raybier family, which bought the estate in 2000, hired Jean-Guillaume Prats as CEO. And Jean-Guillaume started improving winemaking there and also viticulture. And the 2001 vintage was the first vintage which was really much more selective in the vineyard. So he kind of made up for the disadvantages of the 2001 harvest, which were, it kind of was difficult for the Cabernets to ripen. He got much more selective in the vineyard. So there was a lot less first wine made in 2001, and yet what was made is probably one of the best wines of that vintage. Also, something that helped was the amount of Merlot. I think there's like 40% Merlot in this wine, and Merlot did very well in 2001. So what you have is just a gorgeous wine. This is over 10 years in bottle. Oh, it's just got a seductive incense kind of aroma that also is combined with this typical sort of graphite lead pencil that you get from Cabernet. It's still very fresh and young. It's not primary, but it's not old. It's not earthy. It's just in a gorgeous area right now to drink. This has been open for 10 hours. I left it outside to be cool, and it's warming up sufficiently now. Very nice texture. You know how you have different photographs and some are a little blurry? This one's in focus. The mid palate has a little blackberry, dark fruit that's probably coming from the Merlot, but just slowly enveloping your palate. It doesn't hit you over the head or anything. The finish is very long. It's kind of echoing. Again, nothing too intense, but just a very beautiful wine. It is expensive. It is a highly rated Medoc wine. It's about $100, but for a special occasion, I really highly recommend Chateau Cos d'Estournel 2001. So there it is again with the really funky label. Monsieur d'Estournel, the original owner of the 19th century, did a lot of business in India. So you have these pagoda, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, exotic accents to the chateau itself. And you can't miss it when you're driving up the D2 highway. It's right across from Lafite Rothschild. So if you find 2001 Cos d'Estournel and you have a special occasion, don't hesitate. Cheers.